You also got two different paths to choose in life. You got the one of choosing to be the victor and one of choosing to be the victim and stay in a victim mentality, right? You're not going to grow there. And so overcoming self-doubt is huge. Make sure that you're not allowing self-doubt to talk you out of even trying and putting yourself out there. Hi, Janna here. Welcome to my show, Revive with Janna. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all are having a great day. I want to talk to you today about how to overcome self-doubt, right? Like we all get doubtful sometimes and question ourselves and decisions. And I think that's perfectly normal, right? The key is to not succumb to it, right? And, part of that is a safety mechanism, right? You want to make sure you're making the right decision. And sometimes these are really big decisions. And, you don't want to do the wrong thing. You don't want to mess up. You don't want to waste your money. I get it. But self-doubt normally stems from lack of confidence. And if you've listened to a previous episode that I did called False Confidence, then you know what that is, right? False confidence is when you are not confident within yourself and with who you are. You're just confident within an ability you have or a talent, right? Like you're really good at tennis, or you're really good at math, or you're a great artist, or whatever it is. But you don't have confidence within. Okay, you're only confident when you're doing that particular talent or activity that you excel in. Right? That's false confidence. True confidence is when you're 100% confident with who you are, right down to every little bitty detail, pretty or not. And so self-doubt kind of comes with not being truly confident with who you are, but it also happens when you are. Like I have true confidence, 100%. But there's still a little bit of self-doubt that comes up sometimes, right? With really big things, something new, something challenging, something that pushes me out of my comfort zone. And there's always those first initial thoughts that creep in that are definitely self-doubt. And I used to listen to those, right? I used to give into those, and then I would just get into the state of fear and just like I would just freeze, right? And literally just listened to the self-doubt. So how do you overcome self-doubt? Well, I wish I had some more detailed advice, but it's just do it, right? Just understand that self-doubt, what it is. Understand that it is just a mechanism within you that doesn't want to fail, doesn't want to maybe get pushed out of your comfort zone, right? It's like that initial feeling of discomfort, and you were like, I don't really like how that feels. And you kind of start to self-doubt, like, should I really be doing this? Is that person really the one? Is this really going to work out? Maybe this isn't for me. Like those are all just a few examples of self-doubt. And like I said, I think it's perfectly normal, but you don't want to succumb to that. You don't want to give into it. And self-doubt stems from either current limiting beliefs that you have or old shattered ones. Like, for example, for me, I've shattered my limiting beliefs. But when I am getting pushed, especially doing something big, and I get that initial like feeling of discomfort, right? Getting pushed out of my comfort zone a little bit. I now know that's just normal. It's just natural to have that little bit of self-doubt, but I don't let it doesn't just stay with me anymore. I don't let it stay, right? I understand it for what it is. I recognize it, and I know that I've overcome that, and I move on. So it really, honestly, all goes back to choosing to believe different. It really does. Our mindset, I've said it 100 times, I'll say it 100,000 more. Your mindset is the foundation to every other success in life. That's just the fact. There's no way around it. Sorry, there's not. It is your mindset that determines how far you go in life, what you overcome, how you overcome it, how you live your life, the life you want to live. Do your dreams come true, right? And so when self-doubt comes, you just need to recognize it for what it is, and then just say, no, thank you. That's not real. That's not true. That's just a little bit of fear or an old insecurity. And then choose differently and move on. It's really that simple. I wished I had some more elaborate 10-step approach for you, but I don't, right? It is as simple as choosing a different thought. It is first recognize what it is, right? Because most people don't even realize that they're self-doubting themselves. They have that first initial thought of, oh, yeah, that's not going to work out, or it's just a waste of my time, waste of my money. Someone else is doing it better, and they just move on. They give up. They don't try, and they don't even realize that they gave in to self-doubt. So the very first step is to recognize what it is. If you are starting to get pushed out of your comfort zone, maybe you're going to do something big, you're trying something new, you're pivoting in life somehow, and you start to feel uncomfortable, and then those little bitty fears, the little bit of insecurity start to creep in. That, my friends, is self-doubt. So recognize it, say, okay, I'm doubting myself. And why? Because I'm getting out of my comfort zone, because this scares me, because it's new to me, because of fear of like, oh, what if? What if what? Huh? What if are you not asking yourself? What if are you asking yourself? Are you saying, what if I fell? What if people make fun of me? What if I look dumb? Okay. What if you make it? What if you succeed? What if you fly? Right? It's just a matter of switching it and changing that little negative tape in your head. So if you are one of the many who purchased my new book that came out, my number one bestseller, Unfuck Your Mind. First of all, thank you. Number one. Number two, then you know exactly what I'm talking about with the mindset, the limiting beliefs, shattering your limiting beliefs, overcoming insecurities and fears, um, and false confidence, right? And getting rid of that negative tape in your head. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You've read the chapter on the power of choosing, right? Stop accepting, start choosing. So you know what I'm talking about. That book, my friends, that is your roadmap. That is your guide to overcoming your fears, your insecurities, shattering your limiting beliefs, cutting those invisible chains, and stepping into your purpose and living the life that you're meant to live. If you haven't purchased that book, you can go on Amazon and purchase it. And please, please, please leave me a review. I love reading those. Take a picture of the book and tag me on Instagram, and I will reshare. But anyways, back to self doubt. I mentioned the book because if you've read it, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you haven't read it, you need to. But I go into depth into how to overcome this. And many people just don't realize the power of our mind. Your mindset determines so much in life. I never would have gotten well from Lyme disease. I never would have overcome um, a tumultuous divorce that I went through. I never would have. I still would have been shattered with my heart in 1,000 pieces. It was me choosing and me tired of living a life of mediocrity. And there was a lot of self-doubt, my friends, a lot. And I'm going to tell you something. The self-doubt doesn't just go away. It's not like I'm just um, always 100% for sure of every little thing in life, because I'm not. But I'll tell you what I am for sure about. I am for sure with who I am as a person, and my ability to adapt, to pivot, to overcome. That is what I'm sure of. And so when the self-doubt creeps in, it doesn't chain me down like it used to. It used to just be self-doubt and a little bit of like not confident, and it would turn into a full-blown just like fear. A fear that I was just for certain that was the going to be the fate, right? And I mean, I think about how much in life I didn't experience, or I didn't accomplish because of it. Now, at the same time, I believe that everything happens when it's supposed to. But at the same time, you also got two different paths to choose in life. You got the one of choosing to be the victor and one of choosing to be the victim and stay in a victim mentality, right? You're not going to grow there. And so overcoming self doubt is huge. And it's really just having the awareness of what's going on and why. And when you can recognize those patterns in your thought process, then you know exactly what it is. And then you get to choose whether you want to listen to it and believe it, or just say, no, thank you, and replace it with something much more positive and confident. Um, I tell my kids this all the time when they're hard on themselves, right? Is, look, hey, you got to be your biggest fan. You need to be your number one fan, your number one cheerleader, your biggest supporter. It needs to be your own self. And then I tell my kids this, look, the world's gonna eat you up and spit you out. And there's gonna be enough tough things that come your way. You're gonna have enough crap to deal with from the world and other people, and the world will be hard on you, and other people are gonna be hard on you. Don't do it to yourself, right? You can't be hard on yourself. It's that's also coming from a person who fights that constantly. I am my biggest critic, but I'm also my biggest fan. And see, I didn't used to be. I used to just be my biggest critic. I was never a fan of Janna. I never loved who she was. I never accepted her. I was not confident. That is no more. And never again will I not believe in myself. I now love myself, accept myself, approve of myself, create my own happiness within. And when you do that yourself, then the right people come into your life and they can fully love you and accept you, right? You're not depending upon someone else's love and approval and acceptance and someone else to create your happiness for you. You do it yourself, first and foremost, because people can come and go, even when it doesn't seem like they'll ever leave, right? But you always got yourself. Okay. So let's not self-doubt ourselves so much. It's okay to doubt circumstances or, maybe how a certain situation will work out. But you at least need to know that no matter what, it's for the right reasons. And as long as you do your very, very best and you always give your own self a chance, then at least you did that, right? But I don't want to be doubting the fact that I doubted, right? I don't want to be looking back wishing like, well, maybe if I just didn't have so much self doubt, like, I wonder if that would have worked out for me. I definitely don't want to be doubting that. So overcome self doubt, recognize it, know that it's just an old insecurity, a fear, but also, if you've reached that place of healing internally, right? Healing your mindset, shattering limiting beliefs, recognize that when self-doubt happens, when those little, thoughts come in, recognize that that's typically a sign of growth. That typically means that you're being pushed out of your comfort zone. And if you've read the book, then I talk a lot about comfort zones. You grow in the discomfort, right? When we get really comfortable in life and you stay comfortable for too long, it's hard to want to move out of it, right? It's like the longer you're comfortable, the harder it is to want to not be comfortable. So I now push myself in life. If I feel like things are just too comfortable in life, I'm like, oh, I need to change things up a bit, right? I need to spice it up a little bit because I know that I'm not going to grow in the comfort zone, right? And so sometimes when I'm having that self-doubt, I have to ask myself, is it because I'm uncomfortable? Am I getting pushed out of my comfort zone? So that is another way to overcome it as well. And that's just depending on where you are. Where are you with healing? Um, and then, like I said before, I healed my mindset. Self-doubt was truly just 100% lack of confidence within myself. That's what it was. And I didn't even know I was doubting myself. I just believed all the lies, right? The negative labels that people gave me, the negative labels I gave myself, um, the insecurities, the fears. I just assumed that was all fact. It was all true. Now I realize, hey, I get to choose whether I want to believe that thought, right? It's like picture these little thoughts running by, and there's all these negative thoughts. And it's like I lived so much of my life grabbing each and every one of them and taking them, accepting them. And now I'm like, yeah, you can just keep going on by, right? I only want the positive stuff, right? So, like I said, the world's going to be hard enough on you as it is, and other people. So make sure you're your biggest fan, your biggest supporter, your biggest cheerleader, your biggest believer, and recognize self doubt for what it is. It is normal, right? There's no such thing as perfection. And, in the end, of course, none of us really want to fail, right? We all want things to work out a certain way, but don't be so tied up in the result and in the possibility of failing that you don't even try and give yourself the chance, right? That's really, really important. I've seen my oldest struggle with that. The idea, the need for perfection, and that if I don't think I can do that 100%, then I just won't even try, because I would rather not try than to fail. And I told him, son, no, 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 no. You're selling yourself short. And that's going to become such a bad habit in life. Start thinking about it the opposite way. Start thinking about, I don't know if I'm going to achieve this or accomplish this 100%, but I definitely don't have that option if I don't try, right? So make sure that you're not allowing self-doubt to talk you out of even trying and putting yourself out there. Okay. So, my friends, I'm going to leave you with that. All right. Recognize self doubt for what it is, and then flip the script instead of, but what if I don't? Yeah. But what if you do? Okay. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. And if you haven't subscribed to my show, leave me a review, rate it, share with your friends, buy my book, and I will talk to you soon.